Welcome to the transmission of the 21st gene key that currently in a transit from 29th of March till 4th of April. And right now I'm in the Nepal, as you can see also from this background. And this is an absolutely magical space, place of my heart. I feel like my soul really belongs here. And from this magical place touched with Buddhist wisdom, I will share the transmission of 21st Gene Key, the shadow of control, the gift of authority, and the city of Valour. And this is a really beautiful key that helps us to integrate our true nature, our authority. And first of all, for doing this, we need to learn, understand, and transmute the control. As you know that we always start with the shadow. And this key, 21st, is in a codon ring of humanity. The program partner is 48 gene key of wisdom. And what is really beautiful about this key is that physiologically it connected with heart. So the more healthy, I would say, this energy, this key, the healthy is our heart and the blood moving in our system, how blood moves. And we can see how in the program partners, these two keys are connected, the control and the wisdom of the Valour and the wisdom as the city, and the 21st that we can see is here to show us how to live from authority and what is the balance, because if there is too much control, the system becomes very contracted and there is no freedom, no ability to go with the flow. But if there is no control at all, let's say, or no discipline, because the challenge of this key is discipline. So if there is no discipline, then what happens is that the system becomes very weak. So, and kind of fluffy. So we have to find this balance, this middle ground. And as usually, I'm gonna drink also my tea, pu'er, that helps me with transmission, or better to say support it. As you know, we started this process in Bali with my friend who was giving the tea ceremony, and I was giving Jinki transmission. But now as I'm traveling, I'm giving these transmissions online for those who wants to watch and stay in tuned and being able to move through the keys from the frequency of the week and receive the transmissions and blessings. So let's start. Control. What is the control and what are the polarities here? As I said, that this key, the challenge of this key, the dilemma, is something that we need to overcome, is the lesson that we have to learn, better to say, is the discipline. And we all can know and see from our lives that if we don't have any discipline, then nothing can be done. Then we can't focus, we can't structure our life, we can't move through the life and make things happen. If the system, let's say, if in a physical body, there won't be the certain amount of control of muscles, everything will be just very fluffy and not in a healthy flow. Like we can't be able even to sustain the life. But if it's too much control, if there is no space for creativity, for the flow again of life, for some unpredictable decisions, movements, actions, then everything becomes very dry, like kind of the feminine, it dries there. There is no water, there is nothing happening. So we have to find, this balance. When on the polarities, the person with that in this shadow could be very looked, let's say, it's better to say like this. This person can look very organized, very structured, everything always in the right order, everything very structured in his home, in his house, like everything perfect, everything on the right positions. There's always a place for certain things in his house, and if you move it a little bit further, then this person can have heart attack. And this is an example of too much control, when it creates immediate reaction if something kind of out of the order that the person believes should be. That can be about his house, his routine, his work, and then how it play out in relationship. When a person in this shadow of control, it's very hard, it's almost impossible to maintain the healthy relationships, because then this person tries to control everything and everybody, and first of all himself or herself, because he believes that he knows what things should be in the right order, and then he tries everything to make everything and everybody follow it, and became very aggressive and reactive if something that goes in this way. And on the opposite side, if there is no control at all, then what happens is that we can't really move through life. As I said, we can't make things done. Like, let's, for example, I'm creating a project, or I'm doing these Jinkies transmissions, and the discipline what helps me to show up every week to do it, even now when I'm traveling, but still do it online, even if I can't be in Bali right now. And let's say if I'm working on a project again, and I know that there are certain things to do, for example, to organize a website, to do some videos, to create a structure and everything. And if I don't do everyday actions, if I not structure my schedule, if I'm not taking accountability and actions every day, then also nothing is done. If I just let the wind of life fully take me, then nothing happened. So this key is exactly about this perfect balance, because if there is no balance, then there is no organization, there is no structure, and it can be even easier to understand this key if we look in a channel. There is a system human design where we can see the channels and how the energy is connected. And there are channel 4521 that is about kind of controlling money, material aspect of life. That's about making and building big things, organizing, and about being like king or queen of material world, first of all, and about making big things happen, building big things. And the 45 that is in this channel, so it means they work together, is a energy of king or queen, energy of owning things, ownership, energy of kind of, if we will say in a metaphor in a company, the 45 would be a person who, like a director, a vice president, like the person who created this company, who has the main assets and vision and everything. And 21st would be the main like manager, or the main director who controls basically everything there and managing all the processes to make sure that it's all working. So we can see in this dynamic that this energy is important, and because it connected with our heart, again, let's say if we push ourselves too much, if there is too much pressure, then our heart feels a lot of tension and pain, and kind of it can lead to different physical imbalances. When if there is, for example, if there is no, again, physical exercise, for example, if there is no way of how we also stimulate, not even stimulate our system, or how we maintain a flow, maintain a structure, maintain exercises, if there is no this part of life, then there is also the system can't fully functioning, because it becomes weak. And this key will show us basically how we can manage things in our life to be able to move with the flow, and at the same time to be able to still have structure and make things happen, make them done. And when we move to the gift of this key, authority, and this is a very beautiful key, and we can see by the name of this gift or the word that's inside the author. So to be in authority, you have to become the author of your own life. And what does it mean? Does the author means that you again controlling everything and you kind of in charge of your destiny, and only you make things happen, and only the way how you want life to happen? You know, this is a dilemma. I would say this is what like the forever question, the infinite question of that there is any destiny or not. Can I really change anything or not? If there is free will or not? Do I really affect, do my decisions really affect something? Do I really even make them? Or, for example, how the human design system said that this film is already made, like the movie already filmed. You can just sit here and watch. And the other traditions, there is an aspect as a free will, saying that you have a free will, and from a free will you can always affect, let's say, your destiny. Or in my words, I would say create a timeline, as I'm working a lot with timelines and also helping people to work with their timelines. One sec, and explaining how to do this. So this is in fact one of my favorite topics. And we can see sometimes that we make decisions, and our decision is what can help us to change our life, can help us to find, for example, our true purpose, can help us to find a true partner, can help us to start to take care of ourselves and maintain a good health and a good physical condition. Or we might say that everything is happening and it doesn't matter what I do, because at the end is all happened. So I can just kind of sit in a at the back of the car, kind of, and just watch it and just try to be in acceptance of everything and surrender without trying to too much be reactive and let the outside circumstances and things affect me. And I would say that if we found the middle path, where yes, we still we stay in acceptance and kind of compassion to ourselves and to what is happening in our life, but at the same time we still making decisions from a space of free will, knowing that there is nothing that you kind of have to do. There is sometimes a karma that made you do certain things, but you can also resolve this karma. But at the same time, if there is a really destiny of your soul, like your soul choose a certain plan and came here, incarnated to live certain experience, then means you came here for this, and the soul will anyway push you and move you towards this direction. And the more we, in fact, surrender to our dharma, and we move with the flow of our soul, let's say, of this plan of the soul, the more we in authority. That this Jinki said that to become a true author of your own life and to activate the Siddhi, or sorry, the gift of authority, you have to first fully surrender and let go of the control. Because you might see that, in fact, you don't know nothing about yourself. You thought that you knew, you thought that you had certain plans and ideas and understanding of yourself, but in fact there is a bigger picture, and the more you can just move in every moment from your heart, feeling and acting in alignment with your soul, the more you peace, harmony, and feeling this energy of love and presence. And even if something is happening that maybe you don't like on a personal level, but you still feel alignment in your heart, in your soul. And one of my work, what I help people to do, or how I work with the people individually, is that I'm helping them to come into alignment with their soul path and create a life that their soul kind of destined to live, and what is this highest timeline possible for them. So if you want to check on this, you can always message me, and I will share more about the program creator codes that I have, and also how I personally work with the gene keys, with the personal chart, to activate your gifts and siddhis and your highest potential. And just a reminder that, yeah, right now we are in the current transit. That's a key that in the energy field, or how they call it, a transit weather. That means that it doesn't matter if you have this key on your personal chart or not, it still affects you while we are in the transit. And in fact, this how sun moves through the whole year, through 64 hexagrams of keys. For every 5-6 days, we experience one of the energy, one of the key, and how it affects us, and gives us opportunity to transmute the shadows and activate the gift and merge with the siddhi. So authority. When there is somebody who really embodies authority, own authority, and again, if we look in human design system, for example, we will find that there is a they use these words, authority, inner authority, that is showing how the system of a person works, and how it's natural for you to make decision. And I would say I'm not using that much human design recently, but I've been consulting people years ago, and also there are some certain things that helpful. Let's say, for example, there is this way how to find out your inner authority, and there are people who has a sacral or spleen authority that would be worked like this energy works in a moment. Like in a moment, person knows the decision, knows what's right or wrong. The moment when the question comes, or when something arises, or when it's about making decision, the person knows in a moment if this is right for me or not. And there are people like me, for example, who has emotional authority, and emotional authority works different. For me, I need to go through the whole emotional cycle, and only after that I would have a clarity that would tell me the right decision. And experimenting with this through my life, I found out this is really how it works. And if I make decision in a moment, on emotional flow, and like some of let's say how my emotional wave moves, and I'm in a peak or I'm in a low, but if I make decision in kind of according to my emotional wave, I can make a wrong decision because I don't have the whole picture. So we need to see the whole picture, so we're able to see what's really right or wrong. And this is just one example of how this authority works, for example, according to human design. There are so many things and ways how to find out what's right for you. We always can connect with our intuition also, or what I'm also doing is connecting and asking my higher self. That helps also see in the moment the right decision, kind of also beyond even the emotional wave, because the higher self is something that beyond emotions and even beyond intuition. But let's say like this, that coming to the gift of this key, the more we connect it to our inner authority, the more or the less, even I would say, we need control in our life. And the funny thing that the easier it is to create the right structure, because we don't need to control life from our minds. We don't need anymore to use our mind to organize like a right flow. And instead of we listening, and we are able to create like a structure according to the flow of life or how my energy moves. And that helps to organize the right flow without overstressing you by using your mind and plans from a mind that not always really aligned with your heart, or most of the time not aligned. When you can listen to your body, when you can listen to your current state, when you can feel yourself and you can make decision based on the inner authority, and knowing that life is changing, moves, and everything is constantly changes, and there is no like a right recipe for the rest of your life. Let's say like this. Even if we would take, like, for example, health. I have a doctor in Bali, kinesiologist and homeopath and healer, and I work with him for more than 2 years, maybe 2.5 already, maybe even more. And we went through different waves of my health and my condition. And as life moves, as I'm changing also, for example, places I live, or I'm in a different relationship, or certain things happen that also affected me, or my diet, I mean, what I eat, it's all affecting myself, my health, everything. And like so many things changed that there's no right recipe. Like, for example, in the beginning, when I just started to work with them, there was a certain amount of products that was necessary for me to eat, to consume. But right now, like some months ago, when we check my system, that exact product I had to almost stop to eat or to drink because they were not healthy for me anymore. This is just an example that there's no like right recipe till the end of your life. But what we can do is to, again, listen to ourselves in the moment, connected to inner authority. And what happens when we come to the inner authority? As I said, we become the author of our own life. We're starting to listen to ourselves and to what is right to your soul and your soul path, instead of going to collective stream. Instead of doing what society wants you to do, what the Instagram tells you, what your conditioning patterns tells you to do. And you always kind of in an exploration, you're always in the flow of life, in the exploration, where you don't look for a certain answer that will kind of show you everything. You are able, in fact, to move through life in this exploration phase and become a hero of your own life. The 21st key, the one of the metaphor or symbolic symbol for this key is a shaman, is the one who kind of a bridge for spiritual world and material world, is the one who can go to the spirit world, to the world of spirits, communicate with them, and the one who has to kind of bite through the veil of Maya, the veil of illusions, and to find out what is real, what is reality is. So we can see that at this moment we come in more to a mystical aspect of this key. as it has two sides, the practical and mystical. And the practical, as I said, is just about this balance and ability to have the right discipline, maintaining the right flow in your life, and become an author of your own life, come to inner authority, that later you can help others to connect with their authority, inner authority again. But the mystical side, um, one sec. At the mystical side, I hope that. At the mystical side of this key, we are shamans. So this time you have an opportunity to find out the true power inside of you, or what they call a Valour. So you're here to explore who you are beyond the illusions, beyond all the ideas, beyond all the labels, beyond all the stories. You are here to fully embody and find out your true power and true gifts. Sounds incredible, isn't it? And for this, you need courage, and you need a Valour, and you need, how this key said, a sword in your arms, so you're able to cut through illusion and to find the truth. But this is going to be more on a city level. Let's stay a little bit more in a gift. And by the way, if you will have anything to share, you can always message or leave a comment. If you have any questions, you're always welcome to ask, especially if you have this key on your own chart, and even if you're not, doesn't matter. But as I said, it's still, you even not in a transit time, you might still feel resonance of the certain keys. That means that the theme of the key is active in your life. But if you have it in the personal chart, it kind of touches you deeper. How again, the Richard Roth, the creator of the Jinky, said that when we been gifted by certain keys just by our birth, we can be really sure that life will make sure that we will need them in our journey. So to come to inner authority means to come out of the collective stream, to not be anymore a victim of anybody, and first of all of your own mind. It means to find an inner strength and courage that helps you to follow the path of your heart, the path of your soul, no matter what. It means being ready to die for what your soul really wants, for what your soul really needs. It means to really have this tremendous power and being able to step into this, go through all your fears to fully acknowledge, accept who you are. So this is the theme of this week. And it can be scary, but at the same time, so much potential here that can be opened up if you are there to look through this Maya, this illusion. If you're there to like let it go, to see what is real and what is not. And we can see even how, the keys, how the sun moves through the mandala of the keys, that before was the 17th gene key, the opinion, the shadow of opinion, and the seed of omniscience. So when we let go of the opinions, that structures in our mind, our mental structures, when we let go just certain tendencies in our mind and the way how we perceive the reality and believe in what's right and wrong. And when we truly start to see bigger and, for example, the 17th key is the one who activates the third eye. when we start to see bigger picture, we're realizing that we don't need anymore to follow any opinions, any judgments, any mental structures and ideas. And then we don't need then control ourselves. We can live with the dignity, we can live with courage, and we can live with an open heart. And when you found your inner authority, then what happens is that you naturally helps others to connect with their inner authority. And you can even become kind of a guide for others. But the difference between shadow and a gift is that in a shadow, you are guiding and you leader from control. So you're not really interested in others in let's say when you're in a shadow, all you're interested in kind of use others or make them do what you want. Because you're controlling, so you're not helping others to open up their true potential. You're just using them in your terms, and you can be very manipulative in a way how you describe all this. But when you're in authority, you lead it through authority. The 21st Jinki will always have this ability to manage things, to lead, to control in a healthy way. And when this happens, you helping others to come and connect with their inner authority, with their strength. And then when they feel trust and they're ready to follow you. And also there is one very beautiful aspect of this key that I feel in my heart deep resonance with from what again Richard Rod was sharing, is that he said in our kind of modern world, how we live when we're in a shadow, we become very independent in a way, like we're just closed in our cocon, we're closed in ourselves, we're not creating connections, we're not creating healthy bonds. Because we also don't know how to trust. When you're in the shadow of control, you don't know how to trust, you can't trust others. And then you think you need to do everything on your own, or you need to use others. When in a gift, the beauty of this, that when you come to the inner authority that activates deep love and compassion to yourself, you can start love and understand others. Understand that we all have our own gifts and shadows and tendencies, and instead of breaking the bonds, you start to build them. And this is what helps to create a community or synergy that is 45 Jinkies came here to do. I remember I told that there is a channel 4521, and the 45 is the energy of king or queen, is here to in synergy build a healthy environment, community, big things, projects, things that will change the global system. And it's not here to do this alone. It can't do it alone. It needs others. It needs synergy. It needs to do it with others. It needs healthy support. That's why it's so important to be able to create these healthy bonds. And just from now when I'm sharing, I remembered yesterday I gave a last session from my dear client that was in my container Creator Codes. And she shared with me that she opened up to ask for help in one of our sessions. I reflected to her some, let's say, fears and inner beliefs about I need to do all myself, like I can't ask for help in these things. And then we've been working on them, and she's been working on this. And she started to ask for help when it's needed. And she said the beautiful changes started to happen with her friends in that community, with her friends, that they all started to ask for little help from each other here and there. As before, they always kind of independent and individual, like everybody has, I have my own life, I can do everything, I don't need support. And then just by her example and her changes, she kind of, like a fire, activated this energy that started to spread, and now they're able to feel really the friendship and the connection and these bonds exactly that we are building. And that's how we know that we're not here again to do things alone. We're not supposed to. As this golden ring of humanity, and there are several keys are there. 17, the key of opinion and omniscience. 25, the key of unconditional love. 51, this is the key of awakening. And the key of courage and brave, to follow your own destiny, to follow again your own path, no matter what. And the 21, the 10, the 10th, this is about self-love and just being yourself, fully being yourself, not imitating, not copying anything, not wearing any mask, but just being fully your authentic self. And 38, a key that will be represented as a struggle in the shadow, when you always will be in a fight. And in a city, you surrender to life, and it's such a huge power that's activated in your system. And the 21 again, the valor and our authenticity, authority. So when we're starting to create a healthy bonds, that will also help us to cultivate this trust. And from this, we're moving also to city, and we know that we're not alone. Again, we're not supposed to do things alone. Again, coming to synergy, that it's about collective transformation. It's about collective creation. It's about the absolute trust that helps to move the mountain, that helps to make the impossible possible. So when you contemplate this key, just think about, do you have these really healthy bonds in your life? Or maybe you just ignoring or escaping and just have the connections on your surface level. And maybe it's time to go deeper. Maybe it's time to let go of the fear of control, because how the shadow will also represent as a fear that others can use you, can use your weakness. So you need to be strong and don't show your vulnerability, because others can use it and take advantage of it. So maybe it's time to let go of these contracts, beliefs, and opinions, so you can step into healthy connections that will make everything flourish in your life and in life of those who are close to you. And you can see the huge difference when we really start to creating bonds and creating instead of destroying. And on this point, I will take a sip of tea, and after that we will move to a city of Valour. So Valour, the beautiful energy, a little bit scary for the mind, because it requires to let go everything. And what this key can show to us, what this city can show to us. There is a beautiful metaphor that Richard Rudd, again, the creator of Jinky system, is given to us. He said a story about an old king that died. And of course, how it goes in the legends, he has 3 sons. And for one of the sons, he gave them the oldest horse that was very sick, very old, and seemed like she could just die in any moment. And the youngest son, he went into the journey with this horse, and he saw the magic in her. And he said that there have been several challenges where sometimes he had to let go and the horse had to die. But every time it was rebirthing until it became a brilliant horse with the wings who can fly high to the sky. And by coming through the challenges of life and because of the belief of this young man who saw a magic in this horse and trusted in it, this horse was able to transform and bring this young man also to find the secrets and the treasures that he was looking for, that his father hid it. And that's a beautiful example that when we see the true potential in something, then it is possible for this to blossom. And also that the life sometimes will take something from us and we need to let go, trusting that if life takes something, it will give back something that's even more magnificent. And as this horse that died several times, but all this death was just a transmutation that helped her to become who she really was, this magnificent Pegasus, this brilliant flying horse, and with beautiful power. And this is also how we can look in our own life, that we all has this magnificent power us. We have our gifts and siddhis, but do we dare to really open up them? Do we dare to go into this exploration, to go into the deep cave of our shadows, so then we can open up the gifts and the siddhis? You can look in your own Jinkies chart. You can always can make your personal chart on the official website jinkies.com and find your personal keys, and to see that how these keys how they represent what abilities you can have, what is already in your DNA. Every gift and seed that you have there, even in a seed form, is there for you to activate and open up them. I remember years ago when I just met Jinky system, and at the time it was just the beginning of my spiritual path, and I thought that CGs are something impossible. I will not even look there. Of course, I read about them, but more like fairy tale. And I thought that this is for some high people, like high yogis or monks, like somewhere out there in Himalayas. Basically, right now I'm in Himalayas. But I didn't really even look there because I thought that is something that is not possible. Okay, I can activate the gifts. This is the level where like I can come, but shadow or like CD story is something that is not possible. I will just read, of course, because I'm curious and I want to know. But I will focus on transmuting the shadow and open up the gifts. But the time was going, and at some point, I realized that I was doing a lot of different spiritual practices, physical, energetic. I was doing a lot of healing, a lot of workshops. I was fully committed to my awakening. And at some point, I started to notice some interesting energies moving through my system. And it's an interesting way of how I started to experience myself in reality. And it reminded me of some of the cities I read about. And I opened the book again and I read. And I realized that, oh my God, but this is exactly this case, this is energies. And I realized that my system just get purified and my body and my energy system was able to hold that CD because it's really high frequency energy in my system was able to hold this energy. So I just started to experience it without mentally trying to approach it. And then kind of all the CDs of my chart started to open up and I started to experience different flavors of the CDs. We can see that all CDs are just 64 names of God, but they're all the same and they're all about the same thing. This is just different flavors how God will appear through you, and kind of 64 faces of God. And one of these faces are Valour, that will make you go through the portal of death and transformation, death of your ego, death of your identity. And as you know, like on a gift level is the maximum potential of you as individual. When on a Siddhi, it's transpersonal and transparent. And here we let go of the identity. So this beautiful Siddhi, what it helps us to see, to activate, is to become really heroes of our own life and to come through this illusion, to come through this Maya, to see what the truth is, and to have a courage to surrender to source and die as a self, to as an individual self, to feel, to connect with the true self, with their self. So yeah, this energy is very beautiful, and I really love this energy, and it's amazing, the Valour, and it's a key, of a deep journey, that you're here to cut the illusion. You're here to find this path and to show this path to others. You're not here to be small. You're not here to be separated. Of course, you can feel control from time to time, but you are here for big things, for a big mission, and for this you will need this Valour. You will need to polish this sword, how they said. In the beginning of journey, you have an old rustic sword and an old horse, but you have to trust that there is something within you, and there is something in this journey that your soul is kind of guiding you and pushing you towards, and you have to step into unknown and to be able to move with the wisdom of your soul. The program partner of 21st is 48, the wisdom, and in a shadow, if it's inadequacy. So in a shadow, we will think, oh, but this is stupid. People will think I'm too crazy. I can't do this because they will not accept me, or like I will look weird, strange, and like they will think that I'm like mentally sick, so I'll need just to be normal. When in the high frequency of these keys, we just follow the path, and the beautiful mystic power can be opened up, the true path of your heart and your soul, and you have zero idea what can really be opened up again when you just follow your heart and go into unknown, sometimes risky to lose everything, but knowing that in fact, how one of my teachers said, if you're afraid to lose something, lose it. If you're afraid to lose yourself, because you will find out that what you truly are in the core of your being, you can never lose. You can lose only illusions. You can use only your false ideas. You can lose only attachments, but your true nature, in fact, will blossom even more, will shine even brighter. If you're afraid to lose somebody, lose them, because if they're really meant to be, they will come back even brighter in a right alignment of like the soul. And but you have to, when you go, how yesterday again I shared with my student, when you really go the path of your soul, if it's really your true dream of your soul, for this you're ready to give everything, even your life, because you know that there is nothing really to lose, because you itself as identity is not truly exist. So you're so kind of in devotion to this path of your heart that nothing can stop you anymore. Nothing can even scare you. Or sometimes you might feel the energies moving through you and some fears or struggle, but if you know this unconditional love in your heart and you're moving through any obstacles, just polishing the sword. So from rustic and old sword, it becomes this beautiful bright sword that cuts through illusion, or let's say it becomes the Vajra, the Buddhistic symbol of the sword that cuts through illusions. And then you see that your true nature, this golden light, the shining bright light, is what you always was, always is, always will be. This is always what remains, and this is your true nature, and nothing else. And so I would like to finish this transmission with a meditation, with a short meditation that we will, as we normally do, go into shadow and then into gift and into the Siddhi. 1 second. So, meditation. And for this, just come into sit position, comfortable position, connecting with your breath, closing your eyes gently and slowly. Feeling how the air is moving through you, through your belly, through your lungs. Feeling all your systems being connected to your body. And you can see also the roots of the Mother Earth. The roots that going from your feet deep to the core of the earth, connecting you with the Mother Earth. You can feel how energy of Mother Earth is coming back to your system, coming up. Helps you to ground and relax, to feel your body. And the energy of Father Sky is coming down into your system from the center of the universe into your crown. Down to the core of the earth. There is a light in your heart and rainbow sphere around you. The golden light that creates protection and safety. You can connect with the space of enlightened masters, enlightened beings, with the guides and masters of your soul. With the Jinkies system. And with the 21st Jinki and the shadow of control. Just feel it into your body. Feel if there is any tension. Pressure, pain, any sensations and emotions you feel. Just observe and notice where they are. Right now, all you need to do is just contemplate and breathe and be with all of it. Feeling your body, feeling this shadow, and even the most uncomfortable sensations. You continue feeling them, breathing through them, letting them expand into your energy field and releasing in this way. And you just send in your loving presence and awareness. And your breath is becoming deeper. And energy moves higher into the gift of authority. Feel this authority. Where this gift is in your system. Feel this key, the blessing of this key. Authority. Maybe you can feel the strength in your system, the power, the life force. This leadership power in you. Feel the authority, feel how energy moves through you. Maybe you have some messages now from the soul. What you need to do in your life, what you need to focus on, what will help you to create the right structure and discipline and ground more in the authority. Maybe you see any unhealthy patterns and contracts and tendencies you have to remove. Maybe where you give your power away, you don't believe in yourself. Feel this, breathe through it, be with it. And you can take another deep breath. And feel how energy moves into the city of Valour. Oh, you invite in the city, come into your system and merge, you're merging with it. You're inviting this energy. You can put your palms in the open position and just receive this city and let any darkness and anything that doesn't serve you to release, to move out from the system. Feel this bright shining sword in your spine. Feel this dignity, feel this courage, feel the valor. your open heart. Let this energy move till then your tippy toes, your fingers, through all your energy channels, your nadis. Feel the seed is downloading into the system. And when you're ready, you can take another 3 deep breaths. Breathe in, breathe out. You can rub your palms. Put them into your face. There's parts of your body that you feel needs attention right now. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you for those who watched this. You can share your comments, subscribe to support also this channel on YouTube, and come to weekly transmissions. And I wish you all the best. I wish you activate the city. If you have any questions, you're welcome to ask anything here or message me. And also to come to personal readings or even deeper work as a system creator codes or the mentorship through the Jinkies. Happy to be at service. Wish you an amazing day. Thank you and see you next week.